Hello there! We're here at the Naranja Academy, where last time we passed our midterms for biology, math, history, languages, battle studies, art, and home ec. We're gonna stick around a little longer on campus to sit through some more lectures and hopefully pass our final exams. We'll start with biology. Yep, take us to biology class. Hello, I hope everyone's ready to learn some new things today. You all did really great on the midterm. Thanks for answering my little question at the end too. I'll be sure to keep your responses in mind. Alright, we're heading now into the last half of our classes together. It's time for our knowledge to evolve and grow, just like our Pokemon. Evolution, yep. Haha, evolution. Today we're going to learn about the fascinating phenomenon of Pokemon evolution. As your Pokemon battle and level up, they learn moves and get stronger. And for some Pokemon, once they've leveled up enough, their appearance changes and their stats increase, sometimes by a lot. That's Pokemon evolution. Pokemon become very strong when they evolve, making them trusty partners in battle. But some people prefer to keep their Pokemon in their adorable, pre-evolved states. To do this, you just need to remember a certain button when your Pokemon begins to evolve. Say it with me if you already know. To cancel evolution, press the B button. That's right, everyone. B is for best answer. The button you want when you need to stop a Pokemon from evolving is the B button. If you press this button soon after a Pokemon begins to evolve, you can stop it from changing. You can also let the Pokemon hold an item known as an Everstone to keep it from evolving. And keep in mind that the requirements for evolution differ from Pokemon to Pokemon. Some may evolve by having a certain item, such as a Firestone or a Thunderstone, used on them. Others may have to learn a specific move or defeat a specific Pokemon in battle to evolve. The way Primeape evolves into Annihilate is especially strange. You see, there's a certain move that... Whoops! Sorry, looks like we're out of time. I guess we'll have to end the class there today. Thank you all for your attention. We're going to Biology 5. Yes. Hello, I hope everyone's ready to learn some new things today. But before we get going, do y'all remember the final question from our midterm exam? Well, Director Clavel found out about it somehow and I got yelled at. Whoops! Apparently he could tell I was hiding something just by looking at me. He must have noticed all the color flush right out of my face. Haha. Speaking of color, today I'd like to teach you all about colors as they pertain to Pokemon. Some Pokemon have slightly different coloration or patterning on their bodies based on their gender or individual differences. In a very rare cases, a Pokemon may have wildly different coloration compared to others of the same species. We call these specimens shiny Pokemon. It is quite rare to cross paths with one. Does anyone know what the likelihood of finding a shiny Pokemon is? 1 in 4,000? Wow, that's right, you may have the makings of a Pokemon professor, Goatmeal. Shiny Pokemon appear at a rate of 1 in 4,000. Isn't that amazing? The probability of encountering one in the wild is the same as hatching one from an egg, too. Eggs from a pair of Pokemon raised around differing languages are a special case. There's a higher than average chance that a shiny Pokemon will hatch from these eggs, but we haven't been able to figure out why that is just yet. We've also heard rumors of a charm that increases your likelihood of finding shiny Pokemon when you have in your bag. Can you believe that? This claim can't be scientifically verified, but it sure would be fun if it were true. Whoops, there's the bell. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention. Biology 6. Mr. Jacques. Hello, I hope everyone's ready to learn some new things today. Next time we meet, we'll have our final exam. That means today's our last actual class. And the topic for this last class will be Pokemon forms. You can just think of forms as the shapes or appearances that Pokemon have. There's also a phenomenon called a form change, where a Pokemon's appearance changes under certain conditions. Cyclizar, for example, which we regularly ride on as transportation here in Paldea, has 3 forms. First, its basic form, where it walks on 4 legs. Second, its battle form, where it stands on its hind legs to engage in battle. Finally, there's its ride form, where it inflates its throat sac and its tail so we can ride on its back. Though we can use something you're all carrying with you now as an even better example. I'm talking about your phones. Some smartphones are inhabited by a certain Pokemon. Does anyone know the Pokemon I'm referring to? Rotom. You're a regular expert on Pokemon and technology, aren't you, Goatmeal? The Pokemon inside your smartphone is Rotom, and it does all sorts of things to help you out. A Rotom inside a Rotom phone is special, so it doesn't try to enter other electronics. An ordinary Rotom, however, can change form by entering washing machines, microwave ovens, and other electronic appliances. Rotom is a bit of an exception, though. Many Pokemon that change form do so simply by holding an item or by having one used on them. Oricorio, for example, has 4 different forms it can change between when given certain nectars. Pokemon may even change type or learn different moves when they change form. Form changes are different from evolution in that the Pokemon can return to its original form. And unlike shiny Pokemon, which can't change their special coloration, the same individual Pokemon can go back and forth between its forms. There's a lot to dig into with this form change phenomenon, as you can see. We can all learn something from Pokemon here, don't you think? Bit of a stretch, but I'd be happy to see you all enjoy your time at the Academy to the fullest, and change form into a new version of yourself. Or something like that, anyway. Oh, I almost forgot. Regional forms, which vary based on what region a Pokemon came from, don't change like other forms. They're an innate... Whoops, there's the bell. Well, I guess I was scatterbrained Mr. Jacques right up to the very end, huh? I had a great time teaching all of you. I hope you'll do your best on the final exam. Good morning, Master Goatmeal. What class would you like to take? My biology final. You'd like biology with Mr. Jacques? Yes. Class will begin soon. Don't be tardy. Hello, everyone. Today is our final exam. We will cover everything I've taught you so far, but I'm sure you will all do just fine. Take your time and contemplate each question carefully. How many of the following 4 methods make it easier to catch a Pokemon? Inflicting paralysis, feeding it a berry, surprising it from behind. 2. True or false? You can get new Pokemon only by catching them yourself or trading with other trainers. False. You can get a gift. If a Pokemon is holding an Everstone, will using an item that induces evolution such as Firestone cause it to evolve? No, it won't. What is the probability of running into a shiny Pokemon? 1 in 4,000. True or false? The Pokemon known as Oricorio has 3 forms. Incorrect, it has 4 forms. This question won't affect your grade. Do you have anything you would like to say about my class? I'm still getting used to this teaching thing, but I sure had fun as your teacher. It was fun. Thank you for being our teacher. Okay, time's up. Whether you like it or not, I hope everyone enjoyed tackling those questions. Hey, I snuck a little bonus question there right at the end. Our little secret, don't tell the director. I'll grade these right away. I hope you're all looking forward to seeing how you did. It feels great to get a test out of the way, doesn't it? Let's take a look at your results. Biology test. We got 4 out of 5 correct. That's a passing score. Congratulations. Mr. Jacques asked us to give this reward to any students who pass the exam. We got 5 medium experience candies. Let's go to math. You'd like math with Ms. Time? Yes. Class will begin soon. Don't be tardy. Hello everyone, well done on the midterm exam. Some of you earned perfect scores, others seem to have a bit of trouble, but I can tell that you are all tried your best. I am quite pleased to say that every last one of you passed. I can only assume that means that you'll have to come to love numbers too. Stay sharp and try your best for the rest of my classes too. Speaking of staying sharp, do you know how that word applies to Pokemon battles? That's right, it has to do with stat boosts. A Pokemon's stats can rise and fall throughout the course of battle, correct? For example, if a Pokemon uses the move Work Up, its attack and special attack stats will rise by 1 stage each. And, as you may know, each time a Pokemon's attack or special attack rises 1 stage, moves affected by that stat will deal 50% more damage. If that same Pokemon from our previous example were to use Work Up again, both its attack and special attack will have risen by 2 stages total. This results in a 100% increase to damage dealt, making its moves twice as strong. Swords Dance, on the other hand, boosts attack by 2 stages at once, allowing the Pokemon to deal double damage after just a single use. Using Swords Dance twice would boost the Pokemon's attack stat by 4 stages. How much damage then would this Pokemon deal? I would think it would be triple damage. Wow, that's great. You answered this difficult question with ease, Goatmeal. Each stage that a Pokemon's attack or special attack stat is increased, it damages by 50%. So being raised 4 stages would result in a 4 times 50% or 200% increase. The base damage of a move is 100%, so adding 200% to that gives us 300%. In other words, the next move the Pokemon uses will deal triple damage. Type matchups, critical hit damage, and other factors all play into these calculations as well, so even a small boost must be taken seriously. By the way, if a stat simply rose, that means it has gone up by 1 stage. If it rose sharply, that's 2 stages. And if it rose drastically, that's 3 stages. Just so you know, the X attack and X special attack items, which can only be used in battle, can be used to sharply boost those respective stats. Oh my, is that the bell? I suppose that's all for now. What a shame. Today's lesson was a little difficult, so be sure to review what you learned in order to stay sharp. I'll see you all again next class. Math 5, please. Hello everyone, let's have a fun class today. Did you make sure to review last class's material in order to stay sharp? I know it was a little difficult with all the talk of multiplication and percentages and the like, but today we'll be talking about percentages again to learn about probability. That may sound like we're going to have another difficult class, but did you know that all of you already deal with probability on a regular basis? Moves generally have a property called accuracy, which determines the probability that they will hit. The accuracy of tackle is 100, or 100%, so if you were to use tackle 100 times, you would expect it to hit all 100 times. The move Hypnosis, which puts our opponents to sleep, has an accuracy of 60, or 60%. That means you could expect it to hit 60 times in 100 uses. To put it another way, out of 100 uses, you could expect it to miss 40 times. Many of the truly powerful moves often tend to have lower accuracy. So when you're deciding whether to go slow and steady with moves that are sure to hit, or hard and fast with stronger but less accurate moves, you're already studying probability. Let me see here. Perhaps Surf and Hydro Pump would be good examples for this discussion. Surf has a power of 90. Its accuracy is 100, meaning you can expect it to hit every time. Hydro Pump's accuracy is only 80, but when it hits, its power is 110. So between Surf and Hydro Pump, which move would you want to use yourselves? I'd use Surf, personally. Oh my, I see it's slow and steady wins the race for you, Goatmeal. I may have made it sound like there was a correct answer here, but there's not. You're free to use any moves you wish. Factors like PP or number of targets hit may make some moves more suited to certain situations. However, trading accuracy for power or vice versa is purely a matter of preference. This Surf vs. Hydro Pump debate has been ongoing for quite some time. Personally, I'm more invested in debating the rock-type moves Rock Slide and Stone Edge. Let me tell you, I could get really worked up about talking about those moves, but oh my, there's the bell, what a shame. Next class will be our last of our time together. Show up 100% ready to go. We're going to take Math 6. Yes. Class will begin soon. Don't be tardy. Hello everyone, I hope we can have fun once again today for our last class together. Last time we learned about probability using move accuracy as an example. Probability is quite an interesting subject. Did you know that in a class with 40 students, there is a 90% chance that 2 of them will have the same birthday? This is even true despite the fact that there are over 300 days each year. Isn't that remarkable? But let's move on to today's topic before we get swept along with probability again. I've been teaching you all how to calculate damage in this class using examples like type matchups, critical hits, stat boosts, and the like. All of these variables are multiplied together to calculate damage dealt to an opponent. However, did you know that there is an even simpler way to increase the damage of your Pokemon's moves? All you have to do with your Pokemon, use a move that it shares a type with. If a Rock-type Pokemon uses the Rock-type move Stone Edge, the move's base power of 100 is multiplied by 1.5 to become 150. Ground and Rock may seem like similar types, but if a Ground-type Pokemon uses Stone Edge, the move's power will remain 100. Super effective moves and critical hits also add multipliers onto this little numerical increase, so it most certainly must not be taken lightly. Let me ask you a question to see if you understand what I'm talking about here. Say you have a move with a power of 100. If a Pokemon that shares a type with this move uses it and hits an opponent that is weak to that type, what happens to that move's power? So it's the same type, it's 150, plus it's double damage, so I think it's 300. You did that calculation all in your head? Well done, Goatmeal. First, using a move that shares a type with its user multiplies the move's base power of 100 by 1.5, making the power 150. The fact that the opponent is weak to the move's type then doubles that power from 150 to 300. The original power of the move ends up being tripled. Isn't that amazing? What's more, if a Pokemon terrestrializes and then its Terra-type matches one of its original types, then the bonus it gets for using a move of that same type increases from 1.5 to 2. Of course, being able to use a lot of moves with different types is great as well. That's one way you can surprise your opponent. In the end, your own innate characteristics are what really let you shine the most. Bear in mind that this is true for both humans and Pokemon. It would sure make me happy if you could take those words to heart, but I suppose I should really have shared this basic advice right from our first lesson. My apologies. And just like that, class is over. The last of our time together flew by in the blink of an eye. It was so much fun to be able to teach all of you eager students about numbers. Next class will be our final fun exam. Be sure to review the material well in preparation. Math final. You'd like to math with Ms. Time? Yes. Classes will begin soon. Don't be tardy. Alright everyone, it's time to begin our final exam. I'm sure the fun experiences you all had in my class will serve you well as you answer. How many Great Balls could you purchase with 3,000 Pokédollars if each one cost 600 Pokédollars? We could get 5. If a Water-type move with a power of 100 lands a critical hit on a Grass-type Pokemon, what will the move's power be? So it's Water on Grass, so it's going to be halved, but then 1.5, so I think it is B. Under normal conditions, what % chance does Stone Edge have to land a critical hit? I believe that's about 4%. Oh, does Stone Edge have high... Well, whoops. If a Pokemon uses Sword Dance twice to boost its attack by 4 stage, how much damage will its physical moves then do? It would do triple damage. If a Rock-type Pokemon whose Terra-type is Rock terrestrializes, what will the power of its Rock-type moves be multiplied by? That's 2 we just learned. Alright everyone, time is up. Put your hands on your laps now. The test was the culmination of all I taught you, and I'm sure you all did just fine. Go and ask for your scores at the front desk, then take a nice break. I'm worried about this one. Alright, we got 4 right. That's a passing score. You got 5 medium experience candies. Keep doing your best. Yes, we would like to take history. Ms. Ryfort, yep. Class will begin soon. Don't be tardy. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now a part of history. I was hoping to continue unraveling the marvels that history has presented to us today. However, I imagine your ability to concentrate has been spectacularly derailed by my midterm. I suppose changing things up for fun and variety may be a good idea every now and then. So allow me to tell you an old fairy tale that has been passed down in Paldea for generations. Once upon a time, there was a king who very much enjoyed collecting treasure. He was particularly fond of treasures from other countries. One day, a merchant from the east heard rumors of this king and came to meet him. The merchant laid out 4 treasures in front of this treasure-loving king. The 4 treasures were as follows: a vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. Seeing such rarities before him, the king leaped for joy. He showered the merchant with gold coins and claimed all 4 of the treasures for himself. Aha, perfect timing to make eye contact, young goatmeal. Answer me this. I said that one of the treasures was a set of tablets. What do you think these tablets were? Wooden planks for writing on, handheld electronic devices, medicine that you chew, wooden planks. Correct. Your daily pursuit of knowledge serves you well. These particular tablets were wooden and used as a writing medium in the East in ancient times. As you may know, they fell out of popular use as paper became more universally available. For the king to consider these papers substitutes treasures, they must have been of superb quality. That, or perhaps they had some amazingly profound teachings written on them. So the king obtained these 4 treasures, and on that very night, it is said that a terrible disaster rained down upon his castle, reducing it to rubble by dawn. Oh, is that the time already? I wasn't done with my story, but alas, so ends today's lesson. If you're interested in how the story ends, you may come see me outside class hours. We're going to go to History 5. Yes. Class will begin soon. Don't be tardy. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. Today we will continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. I trust that you all remember our lesson from before the midterm exam concerning the Great Crater of Paldea and its interior, Area 0. This mysterious crater captured the imaginations of many, including the former Paldean Emperor. 200 years ago, a group of explorers claimed to have finally reached its depths. The name of the team that achieved this great feat was the Area 0 Expedition. The team is said to have been made up of Paldea's best and brightest. Skilled battlers, brilliant researchers, talented individuals of all kinds. Among the list of team members was the name of a man who was an author and brilliant natural historian, Heath. After returning from the expedition to Area 0, he used his literary talent to record the events of the expedition and publish them. Ah, perfect timing to make eye contact, young goatmeal. Let's see if you were paying attention. What was the name of the team that first made it to the deepest reaches of the Great Crater? The Area 0 Expedition. Correct. To pick up on and remember a term simply slipped into the flow of the lecture. You were really quite the clever one. The correct name for this team was the Area 0 Expedition. The record of their activities, written by the expedition member Heath, can be found in bookstores and the like even today. This record is now known as the Scarlet Book. At that time, the entire region of Paldea was absolutely buzzing about Area 0. The Scarlet Book was so popular that practically everyone had a copy. However, the book itself was full of fantastical descriptions and illustrations of things that could never be thought of as real. The masses began to call Heath a liar. Even the truth of the expedition making it to the bottom of the crater was called into question. The Scarlet Book was condemned to the shelves of used bookstores as just another book of wild paranormal stories. There's a copy on one of the bookshelves on the ground floor of the entrance hall. Feel free to have a read if you're interested. Oh, is that the time already? I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. We will unravel more of history's enigmas together next time. Good morning, Master Goatmeal. What class would you like to take? History 6? You'd like history with Ms. Ryfort? Yes. Class will begin soon. Don't be tardy. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now a part of history. Today is our last class, so I would like to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us one last time. In our last class, I taught you about the Area Zero expedition of 200 years ago, correct? Alas, 200 years is not that long ago at all. How unfortunate that our history lessons must march so inexorably toward the future. Would it not be more of an adventure to march toward the past instead? To start from our present and study history in reverse? That might be hard to follow. Indeed, it may be difficult to understand the flow of events, how one thing leads to another if we were to trace history in reverse. I suppose I have no choice but to let the flow of time carry us toward the future. In this last class of ours, I shall fill your minds with the history of the terrestrial phenomenon. The technology behind Terra Orbs has its origins in Area Zero. Even after the Area Zero expedition supposedly reached the crater's deepest depths, others continued to explore that area, and around 140 years ago, Pokemon cloaked in a mysterious light were discovered there. As you may have already guessed, these were, in fact, terrestrialized Pokemon. However, when those who discovered these Pokemon brought them out of Area Zero, the light faded and the terrestrial phenomenon remained a mystery for quite some time. However, 10 years ago, that might as well be present day, a certain someone you have definitely heard of unraveled this mystery. Aha, perfect timing to make eye contact, young Goatmeal. Answer me this. What is the name of the famous professor who unraveled the terrestrial phenomenon mystery? Professor Sada. Correct. To think that you, a new transfer to our academy, could correctly answer this question. You must be very diligent in your studies. Approximately 10 years ago, a professor named Sada unraveled the mystery of the terrestrial phenomenon. She discovered that the shining crystals down in Area Zero, or rather, the energy they emit, is what causes Pokemon to terrestrialize. This led the professor to invent Terra Orb technology and to develop a practical use for it. This technology was then shared with both the Pokemon League and our academy. Rumor has it that Director Clavel was one of the researchers on the professor's team. Alas, the story is much less exciting now that someone we all know appears in it. Modern history truly is dull, isn't it? Thus ends my history classes. Our next session will be our final exam. Bring the wonders of history to the forefront of your minds in preparation. Good morning. Yes. We would like to take our history final. Yes. Greetings, my little students. It is time for our final examination. Summon your historical knowledge from the dark recesses of your minds and answer the questions. What is the area within the Great Crater of Paldea called? That is Area Zero. How many years ago was this academy founded? 805, 806, or 807 years ago? That was 805 years ago. Which of these did not appear in the Paldean fairy tale about the four treasures? A vessel, a set of tablets, a set of beads, a folding fan was not. Which Area Zero expedition member wrote the record of the team's activities? That was Heath. How many years ago did Professor Sada invent Terra Orbs? 20. Your time is up. Put your writing utensils down. You must excuse that last question. It is too shallow and ridiculous to be on a history test. But alas, the director forced me to include it. So ends our final examination. You may ask for your scores at the school's front desk. We got 4 out of 5 right. Congrats. We got 5 medium experience candies.